Hey guys, so I went ahead and picked my submission for the fan-made cooler slash Goku worldwide download celebration fan-made card concept. We're going to be going with response number 52 out of the 102 responses we got. There's a lot of responses. There's a lot of ideas here, so appreciate you guys sending us your submissions. There's no really rhyme or reason for me to pick what I picked. I just was scrolling through and thought this one looks pretty interesting. So we'll take a look at what this guy decided to do. This is a submission thanks to Kit Crass, I guess what his name is pronounced. Apologize if I mispronounced that. That's his Twitter handle. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this concept is here. So this is for Cooler. Obviously people had the choices to choose between Cooler and Goku, so this guy chose Cooler, so that's cool. Obviously I'm a bit biased here, but I definitely, if I was going to make a concept and I'd choose between one or two, I'd definitely choose Cooler as well. So let's take a look and see what he did. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further just so that we can get a bit of a closer look here and it's easier for you guys to see. All right, so leader skill. He went with movie bosses or accelerated battle, category key +3 and HP attack and defense 170%, plus an additional HP attack and defense plus 30% for characters who are also in the transformation boost category. So the one thing I'll say about this leader skill, actually there's two things. The first thing is, I don't think, because I actually had my own concept for these characters, and I also had accelerated battle in the leader skill, but I actually realized, if we go over to the Dokkan wiki here, that the coolers from Cooler's Revenge, that movie, actually don't have accelerated battle on their categories. So if these coolers don't have accelerated battle, that means that the new cooler is not going to be getting that. And then neither is Goku, right? We actually don't have a cooler movie Goku in the game at all, period. From Dragon Ball Z Movie 5, Cooler's Revenge. So when we get him added to the game during the celebration, he's actually not going to have accelerated battle because this cooler doesn't have it. So, but the second thing I want to mention as well regarding leader skill is I probably think that they're going to be introducing a new category because it's a big celebration like this. They typically do that. So, I mean, it's probably going to end up being movie bosses plus new category. And then the secondary one will be, I guess transformation boost works. That's a good one. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking for the categories. But I really wish they did have accelerated battle. It would have made things a lot better because I think accelerated battle is actually a pretty good category. All right, super attack effect. So it looks like this is not a transforming cooler. This is just a final form cooler, which I actually like. I think because we already have the STR cooler and eventually get an easy A, he already sort of fulfills the slot as a, sort of non-final form cooler. So we really do need to fill that final form cooler slot, which I think we will get with this. So not transforming, I think, is a good thing. The 12 key super attack is the Death Chaser, raises attack and defense infinitely. Okay. And causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. The 18 key is the Death Slam. Okay, so this infinitely raises attack and then it greatly raises defense for one turn, causes mega colossal damage with a medium chance to stun, so a 30% chance to stun. So this guy's going to be stacking a lot of attack. He's stacking attack infinitely on 12 and 18 key, and then getting a 50% defense raise on his 18 key super. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the sort of like the meat of the submission, which of course is going to be the passive. So the passive is Matchless Pride. Activates the entrance animation upon entering attacking turn once only, and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type tech excluded to rainbow key spheres, and launches an additional super attack for the first 5 turns from start of battle. So I don't think we actually included a part of this to like put the typing and stuff like that, but because he said tech excluded, I'm assuming that this is going to be a tech cooler, right? It makes sense, which I think is fine. Honestly, any typing other than AGL for cooler, I think is good. And the reason why I really don't want cooler to be AGL is because we already have the two best Wicked Bloodline units in the game are both AGL. We have the Golden Frieza, who just came out on JP, and we have obviously Full Power Frieza from last year's Worldwide Celebration. So I think Cooler is going to be working very well alongside both of those Wicked Bloodline units. So I'm just hoping this Cooler is not AGL. Me personally, I probably choose Int, just because I feel like that's probably overall the weakest typing that we have for Wicked Bloodline right now. I'm okay with Tech. I think Tech is probably the second weakest color. Physical is not the greatest. STR, probably not, just because STR's gotten a lot of love in terms of like space traveling wars. Or we have the OG LR full power Frieza, who eventually will get an easy potentially in the celebration. We have the Prime Battle First Form Frieza, who's still really good. So that category, or that typing, definitely still has some good Wicked Bloodline characters. But I think Tech, Physical, and Int, I'd be okay with any of those typings for Cooler. Okay, so for the first 5 turns from the fight starting, when this entrance animation is activated, he randomly changes key spheres except for Tech to Rainbow, so he's a Rainbow Orb Changer, and he does a guaranteed additional super attack. Okay, that's pretty powerful. So it gets Ki +5 and attack and defense plus 160% baseline. 5 extra Ki is really good. That's a lot of extra Ki just for free. Guards all attacks for the first 3 turns from first appearance. Okay, that's pretty good. Plus an additional attack and defense and chance of performing a critical hit plus 2% per Ki sphere obtained for the rest of battle. The rest of battle. Okay. That's an interesting concept. Wow. Do you notice how ridiculous that is? For the rest of battle. So let's just assume, okay, you know what? Let's assume that because he's an orb changer for the first 5 turns, the average amount, like on average, how many Ki spheres are you getting when you have a Rainbow Orb Changer on rotation every turn? Is it like 6, 7? I'll just say 6, just to be a little bit conservative. It's probably like in between 6 and 7, but obviously because you can't realistically obtain a fraction of a Ki sphere, we'll just say 6. So let's just assume 6 is the average amount of Ki spheres you'll be obtaining from this character every turn because he's a Rainbow Orb Changer. You're going to be getting, from just this portion of his passive, you're going to be getting an extra 12% crit chance permanently and 12% attack and defense every single turn this guy's on rotation. That's pretty good. Great chance, so 70% chance of randomly changing Ki spheres of a certain type, Tech excluded to Tech Ki spheres. Okay, so that's another orb changing passive, but it's not guaranteed. It's a 70% chance of changing Ki spheres to Tech. So he has the ability, I guess, a 70% chance to be a double orb changer for the first 5 turns. So forget what I said about the average amount of orbs being 6. It's probably more like 8, right? If you get the double orb changing here, 1 being the Rainbow and 1 being the Tech, you're probably going to be getting like 8 Ki spheres, which makes that portion of the passive where he's getting the permanent buffs even more ridiculous. Plus an additional Ki +2 per Rainbow Ki sphere obtained. Okay, so he's always going to be at 24 Ki, pretty much effortlessly every turn. Launches an additional super attack once 30 Ki spheres have been obtained in battle. That's actually a pretty interesting mechanic. I do like that a lot. I think that's an interesting way to design this unit. I actually wouldn't mind that effect being given to like actual units in the game. It sort of makes you want to play the game differently and prioritize those characters that have this effect for just getting Ki spheres, right? I actually really like that effect. I think that's a really cool ability. Then he gets a great chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed to the character as the first or second attacker in the turn. And then he has a great chance of nullifying unarmed super attacks directed at the character as the second or third attacker in the turn. I'm assuming that for the Ki Blast supers as the first or second attacker in the turn, I'm assuming that he'll still be able to counter, he'll still be able to nullify this before attacking. I'm assuming he wants this to work the same way as like the banner unit Jocko does, where even if he's not attacking it in slot 1, he still has the dodge chance. So that would be insane. A 70% chance to nullify Ki Blast supers in slot 1 and a 70% chance to nullify unarmed super attacks as the second or third slot, which obviously is going to depend on who you're fighting against, but I feel like that versatility is very good. I like this a lot. This guy would obviously be absurd, especially with the guard, the Ki sphere changing, the guaranteed additional super attacks, especially because remember, he's stacking. He's stacking infinitely attack and defense on 12 Ki, and then he's stacking attack on 18 Ki. All right, let's see what he has for the active skills here. So active skills, Supernova condition can be activated when HP is 60% or less starting from the 5th turn from start of battle once only. So we have an HP restriction and a turn restriction. This is not like a terrible active skill condition. I think that's a very realistic active skill condition. It's not bad. It's not insanely good, but I could see that happening for sure. The effect is massively raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy and launches an additional super attack for 1 turn. Okay. So that's actually an effect we have not ever seen before on an active skill super attack, just giving you an extra super attack guaranteed for 1 turn. So basically the turn you use this, you're going to kill the enemy, because by this point, by the 5th turn, you're pretty much going to have like at least an extra like 50% chance to crit from this, right? That's going to be this. I actually really like this effect, like getting a permanent amount of buffs from this, and then also getting this. So actually you could, if you fulfill this condition before launching the active skill, you could be double additional super attacking on that turn with like a 70% chance to crit. So you're basically just murdering anything that exists on that turn, right? Link skills, we have Strongest Clan in Space, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Universe Most Malevolent, Metamorphosis, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Yeah, I think this, I'm pretty confident that this is probably going to be the exact link set that we get for Cooler. The one link you can tell that he definitely did omit from here is Big Bad, or not Big Bad Bosses, is Brutal Beatdown for Legendary Power, right? Because if you take a look at this STR Cooler's link set, he has the exact same link set, obviously with the only link different being Brutal Beatdown, because as an LR you need Legendary Power. So I do agree with this link set choice. I think this is probably what we'll see here. And then categories, we have Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Final Trump Card, Space Traveling Warriors, and Planetary Destruction. Yeah, I think that's probably just literally copy and pasted from here. But again, the only thing I would say is, yeah, this category list is correct, but then that also means that you wouldn't be able to have this, right? The accelerated battle. So, because he's not on the category. So, but anyway, I really do like this concept. I think the thing that I admire the most about people that make concepts like this are the creative mechanics, right? So, for example, this, right? This is, I think, probably a little bit too good as a concept, as like a mechanic here, this portion. But I really do like the idea. I think this is actually a possible thing to do in the future. Like, I would not be surprised if this eventually became a thing that we see in the game. Also, stuff like this. I like to call these like quest mechanics, right? Where you're basically spending multiple turns trying to fulfill a condition to get a reward, right? You go on a quest and you complete the quest and you get a reward as a compensation for doing what the conditions were for the quest. It's pretty much what this is, right? It's a quest-based mechanic where you're, okay, I'm hunting for 30 key spheres throughout the battle. Once I obtain the 30 key spheres, then I get rewarded with this. In this case, he gets rewarded with being able to launch an additional super for the rest of the battle, which is very, very good. So 2 thumbs up for me. I love this concept. Let me know down below what you guys think about this one for sure. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to the next person here, and I will see you guys all in the next one.
Alright, it's my turn now. It's Gale right here with the fan-made card, and this time we're looking at Mugiwara's Goku card. A lot of the other guys are probably doing Cooler, and there's a lot of people who have given Cooler fan-made cards, so I thought I'd do Goku instead. Now, personally, I'm hoping it's a base form Goku as a start, so we'll see what Mugiwara has to offer us. So he's gone for Final Hope or Accelerated Battle, and the 30% Pure Saiyans. Final Hope is a very interesting category because in my eyes or my head, I think it would be something like the Super Saiyan Battle of Fate and also all the movie heroes category units, basically most of them at least, right? A lot of the ones that face the enemy at the end. So your Gohan and Goten cards, your I guess Gogeta cards from the Dragon Ball Super movie, and stuff like that. I'd assume that would be the case, but this is a really good 200%, I would say. If especially we're getting a new category, I think that would be fantastic. Super attack effects for base form Goku, so he has the same idea as I do. It'll be a base form Goku. 12 key and 18 key both raise attack and defense, great. And on the 18 key, he stuns the enemy. Now, if this Goku has a lot of key through his passive or through his links, this is guaranteed. You're getting that guaranteed stun, which is really good, especially in Super Battle Mode. So fantastic, love it. Super Saiyan Goku raises defense for 1 turn and then raises allies attack and defense by 20% for 1 turn. Because of his stacking and depending on what his passive is, assuming you can run him in slot 1, which you probably will be able to do it, I hope at least, this is really good because you're going to give the rest of the rotation some amazing support, in all honesty. So that's fantastic. 18 key is greatly raises attack and defense and then disables enemy's action once within the turn. Now, this is very interesting, the wording. I don't remember the exact wording for the disable enemy's actions, but I assume this would be in just the next one immediately after that still, right? It wouldn't be some random one. Either way, still really good. I think the greatly raises attack and defense is very, very nice. I mean, obviously we know certain units are doing massively raises defense, you know, like the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, as well as the God Blues, or, you know, but I think this is still really good. This is still really good. Just comes down to the passive, right? So let's have a look at the passive. The base form Goku activates entrance animation, 59% attack and defense, and guard activated against all attacks for 3 turns, similar to Rosemasu and Fasha right there. Key +2 and attack and defense, 130% at the start of turn. Key +1 per key sphere obtained. Yeah, that 18 keys, 100% happening. He also changes key spheres to a rainbow key spheres, or 1 key sphere to rainbow key spheres. Again, 100% happening. He foresees enemies super attacks when HP is 20% or above. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, that's so good. Yeah, it's unbelievably good. That condition is so easy to get. While you are struggling for HP in nowadays' gameplay, right, with red zone and stuff, you're around 40 to 50% HP more often than not. I don't think you're ever under 20% HP. It's very rare that happens, I feel. You're always above 20% or above at the very minimum. I would say around 30 to 50% is where you're usually at. So this is great. He also performs an additional super attack when key is 24 or more. Brilliant. So that stacking issue is not there at all, because you're getting 2 super attacks consistently, I feel. Because of his passive being so key orientated, you should not be struggling for this part of the passive. You're getting that guaranteed super no matter what. Super Saiyan Goku is key +2, attack and defense 159 at start of turn, then an additional 59% attack and defense, and a medium chance to perform a critical hit for the rest of the battle after receiving an attack. Super easy to get. He reduces damage received by 20%. He gets 1+ key sphere, or 1+ key per key sphere obtained. He changes it again from a certain type to rainbow key spheres as Super Saiyan Goku. Then an additional 59% defense and damage reduction by 20% when collecting 2 or more key spheres. He activates guard when he gets 3 or more key spheres, and then he performs an additional super attack when key is 18 or more. You're not struggling with defense for him. I think his offense is going to be a little bit lower. I feel maybe not too low, depending on his stats and how this actually looks like in game. The critical hit and additional supers, I think the thing is, I think with the additional supers it'll be a lot higher. I think this is where he's done a really good job, where the attack stat might seem low, but because you're getting that additional super consistently, it'll look really nice when you combine the 2 numbers together. He also has a high chance to nullify enemies' key blast super attacks and counter with ferocious power. Okay, I think it might be a melee based nullification more so than a blast based, but we'll see. I think the blast based will go to Cooler, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong here, but I think this is a really good card. The passive and super attacks alone make it so nice. Base form Goku alone here is really good, in all honesty. Let's look at the active skill though and see how fast he'll get up to Super Saiyan. So he restores HP by 40% and transforms into Super Saiyan Goku. Really good active skill there. I mean, restoring HP makes it so good, you know. Helps out so many other units as well, like Tech Gogeta, as well as full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This can be activated after the character receives 6 or more attacks during battle. Not too shabby, very easy to get. And HP is, or when HP is 59% or less. Fantastic. So good. This is probably one of the best active skill conditions and I would say benefits, or abilities you get from the active skill is so nice. It's so nice. The Link skills are all in family: Saiyan Warrior Race, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Don't think there's anything wrong here. You have the major links covered, like all in the family there. Super Saiyan Goku has the same links but removes Shocking Speed and Saiyan Lineage for Golden Warrior and Super Saiyan. I think that's fine. I think that's perfect. It keeps the strong links like Prepared for Battle and all in the family. That's fine. Categories are Final Hope and all the normal Super Saiyan Goku categories you'd see from a movie hero's Goku. So Pure Saiyan, Sweet Goku's Family, Super Saiyan, Powerful Comeback, Bond of Friendship, and stuff like that. Really good card. I love this card. I think this guy is going to be a defensive monster, but he'll also be a very strong offensive monster as well, as long as you can get that key, which is not tricky at all based on his kit at all. I don't think it should be an issue for any player whatsoever. So love this card. Very much excited to see what he's actually going to turn out to be in the next coming week, or next coming weeks, I should say, depending on when this goes up. I'm going to move on to the next content creator. Let's see what they have to show you guys.
What's good, everybody? It's Vilify here. Today we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at a fan-made response for the worldwide download celebration concepts. This one is going to be for the potential LR final form cooler that we could be seeing according to the leak from iSeriously. But let's go ahead and look at this fan-made one. It comes from guitar_heroist on Twitter. And let's go ahead and see what he's got for a cooler. Now we have, obviously he's going to be a 200% leader, so his categories are going to be Terrifying Conquerors and Target Goku 170 with the 30%, aka the 200% to movie bosses. Now, that sounds good in theory. I think that works out pretty well, but I would have to see who's on Target Goku as well as movie bosses. I guess we could pull that up while we're here, right? Let's go ahead and go to the worst Dokkan wiki, we'll call it that, right? I just want to see who would potentially be on this category, right? So he wanted Target Goku and Terrifying Conquerors. All right, let's go ahead and pull that up while we're here. Target Goku and Terrifying Conquerors. So I imagine they'll be pretty simple, right? So this guy will be on there. This guy will be on there. Broly will be on there. Metal Cooler, Broly. You know, we could go ahead and go into each specific one here, but it's going to be like a pretty good core, I'd say. I can imagine that the final form cooler as well as LR Golden Frieza whenever he drops on global will be an absolutely solid rotation. Android 13, hopefully his EZA is sooner rather than later, but you never know really with these things. You know, Broly as well will be on this category, so that Imp Broly is also another solid option. I'd say this is a pretty good 200%, but at the same time it can be a little bit suspect. Because like, you know, Ginyu won't be on it, but that's fine. But we have like Cooler, Turles, you know, not full power Frieza, he won't be on there. You know, I just think like this Turles, I think that's a solid 200%. I think that, you know, that could really work out in theory. Maybe not it's not like perfect or anything like that, but I would say this is probably the most ideal option that they do, something like that. But I would also imagine that this is a major celebration. Either Terrifying Conquerors or Target Goku will be gone in favor of some sort of category that Cooler brings to the game, right? Maybe it'd be like something involving like super fast key gathering or something like that. I don't know, right? So let's go ahead and move off from the leader skill and go on to the super attack effects now. Right off the bat, you know, the first thing you kind of want to look for is the greatly raising attack and defense, and the 18 key has that, as well as the 12 key having just a single raise. Mega Colossal and Colossal with lowering defense. I'd rather that be attack, but lowering defense I think is a good effect and it's pretty common, so I think that's realistic. But I'd prefer that to just be attack, because, you know, these bosses in the game at this point are just so damage reduction heavy, and the defense lowering just doesn't really matter as much. But, you know, super attack effects are solid. I'd say they're pretty realistic, but I would hope for a little bit more considering 2022 power creep, but I do think they're pretty good. So let's go ahead and move into the passive skill. Honestly, in 2022, this does look a little bit short, but we shall see. Let's see. So we're activating the entrance animation when there is a Goku on the team. I think that's good. You know, no Goku Youth Ginyu Jr. excluded. That's good. Started the attacking turn. And key 3, attack and defense plus 60% for the rest of the battle with the animation, or with the intro animation. That's good. Attack and defense plus 60 is a lot for an intro, but it is just against Goku, so that does work. Key plus 6 for 6 turns from appearance. You know, that's a good super battle road thing. Red zone, that's all right, but, you know, we have to see what the new difficult event might be going forward. But I do think that's okay. Let's see. All right, so then here we go. Key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 200% at the start of turn, plus an additional attack plus 66% when performing a super attack. Launches an additional super attack when performing an ultra super attack. Attacks effective against all type when key is 24. And movie bosses support. I like the movie bosses support, but I'm not sure they would do that for a headlining Dokkanfest unit. And you know, funny enough, you're not going to hear this, but I think I have the person that made this on the line. Is the key plus 6 for the entrance? Is it for the after the intro? Okay, so that would be after the intro. All right, so he gets the key plus 6 for 6 turns only when there's a Goku. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah, I like the movie bosses support. That is really good. I think with the power creep in the current meta that we're in, I think that's 100% runnable. And I prefer that they have something like that, but I could 100% see that not happening. As you know, they're probably just going to make this guy Omega busted, and you're going to want support from other people. But I think him supporting just kind of makes him crazy. Maybe if you wanted to throw in like orb changing or key per orb or something like that to make it easy to get that 24 key, we'd have to see. But, you know, all right, so for the active skill portion, he massively raises his attack, temporarily causes ultimate damage, and performs a critical hit for 1 turn. And it can be activated after 6 turns normally, or whenever your HP falls below 66% when you're fighting a Goku family enemy. So in theory, it could be turn 1 when if you hit a bunch of the kind of like red destruction, like, you know, those little spaces on the board that take your HP away. In theory, you could go in and do this turn 1. And then, you know, this is kind of the you know, for lack of a better term, this is kind of the big bad, you know, this is what makes the kit, right? So let's go ahead and look at the links. So strongest clan in space, really good for Frieza enemy or Frieza allies. Big bad bosses, obviously. Universe's most malevolent, pretty good. Thirst for conquest, brutal beatdown, fierce battle, legendary power. This guy's going to link up super well with Turles units, and as well, Global will have the Turles EZA by the time this guy drops, as he's in the Raditz celebration. I think that'll work out really well. But let's go ahead and move down to the categories. We have Planetary Destruction, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, Target Goku, Final Trump Card, and Space Traveling Warriors. I'm kind of hoping to introduce a new category just so this guy has more teams to be run on, but I think those categories are very realistic. You know, maybe there's something that there's something he's missing in there. I'm just not seeing it off the top of my head, but I think overall those are probably going to be what his categories are, unless there are any new ones or stuff like that. But I think that looks good. Again, thank you to Guitar_Heroist for submitting this one. I'd say that overall it's really good, but I think when it comes to like the worldwide, potentially the best unit in the game, I don't think this is exactly what we're looking for, but you know, it does look good, right? Like this would be a pretty good unit. I think most people would be pretty happy with this. So let us know what you think of this one in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and move on to the next creator.
What's going on, 5'9" gamers? We are looking at the fan-made concepts for the worldwide celebration units. Now that we basically know that it is Cooler versus a Goku, we are going to go ahead and take a look at what you guys have come up for your ideas here. So I went ahead and found one here that looked interesting for Cooler. Cooler's the one I'm more excited for than Goku, so I kind of wanted to choose a Cooler here to look at. So this concept here comes from Not Nover T, and their Discord handle is right there. So Not Nover T. I really liked the build that they did. I mean, this Cooler would be really busted. I don't think they'll actually make the Cooler like this, but this Cooler looks pretty ridiculous to me. So for the leader skill, I think this is a very realistic leader skill they could give him. So movie bosses are Planetary Destruction 170, and then the 30% the transformation boost. I think you get a pretty nice selection of units on that 200% leader skill, so not too bad there. Now, for this particular build, they do have Cooler built as a transformation unit. So I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like a standalone Final Form Cooler, but here he's got a Cooler that transforms into Final Form Cooler. So here are the super attack effects. So before transforming, the 12 key is raises attack and defense for 1 turn, lowers attack, medium chance to stun, great chance to seal, and colossal damage. And then the 18 key is raises attack and defense for 1 turn, greatly lowers attack, medium chance to stun, mega colossal damage. So they're making this unit where like you get the chance to seal on 12 key, but you get just stun chance on 18 key, but you get the greatly lowering attack. So definitely like a super battle road type of build there on the super attack effects. And then after transforming, the 12 key is infinitely raises attack, and then get defense for 1 turn, does colossal. The 18 key greatly raises attack, raises defense for 1 turn, and mega colossal. Now the one thing that I'll say that I would not be surprised if Dokkan does is if they make this Cooler another one of those units that does Mega Colossal on the 12 and 18 key, because they kind of started that last year during Worldwide with Dynamic Goku and Frieza. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did bump this up to Mega Colossal, but we'll see. So here's the passive. So before transforming, does an intro animation. Key 3 lowers all enemies attack by 20% for the first 3 turns. That's good for some content, right? Not all content can you lower attack, but in Super Battle Road, that's definitely good. Attack and defense 150 at the start of turn. Key 3 and defense 50 while attacking. Okay, which that's good because this is going to be a multiplicative defense buff, right? Extreme class allies 2 key and attack and defense 30%. And then transformation boost categories gain an additional 1 key and attack and defense 20%. So basically, they're designing this unit to be like a really upgraded version of STR Cooler. If you remember, STR Cooler gives different buffs based on which typing, but now this one's going to just do all extreme class allies for 2 key and 30% attack and defense. And then transformation boost in addition will get 1 key and 20%. So transformation boost allies are going to be getting 3 key, 50% attack and defense. Plus this guy's going to be a really good leader. This Cooler has potential, if they build it like this, kind of like STR Cooler, to be one of the best units in the game and one of my favorite types of leaders, because I love leaders with support passives, because then I can choose to play them on rotation, or I could float them if I want to make different rotations. I really like that flexibility, right? He launches an additional that has a medium chance of becoming a super when key is 20 or more, and then transform when conditions are met. So I think that's a pretty fair passive. Like I like that, right? And then the transformation condition is Activated turn 3 when all allies are extreme class, or turn 7. This would be ridiculously an easy transformation, so I would definitely take it if they did 3 turns with extreme allies. And then once again, you could choose the transform or not, right? So you'd have the flexibility to keep him as a support, or to go for the transform version, which is going to be more offensive. So the transform version is attack and defense 170 at the start of turn. Now this is where this unit gets ridiculous, where like if Dokkan did this, this would be wild. This would be kind of like an AGL Trunks type of passive, right? So he's got attack and defense 170, but then launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of being a super. But then this part's crazy. Launches an additional, has a medium chance of becoming a super attack per extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, excluding self. So basically what this would be is you'd have 2 other extreme class on rotation. So this guy would be attacking. He would get 1 guaranteed additional for his passive, and then 2 more for each of your extreme class allies. So he's getting guaranteed 4 additional, or 4 attacks in, right? He's getting the base attack plus these 3, plus he could do a 5th attack on hidden potential. And the reason why this is, I guess, somewhat realistic is because these aren't guaranteed supers, right? They just have a medium chance of being a super. So this cooler is meant to be attacking a lot, which is very similar to like how physical cooler works, right? So kind of doing that build up with all the attacks, which I really, really like that. Because then you'll see here he's going to get attack and defense 5% per attack performed. So it doesn't have to be a super, just every attack you're getting a little bit of attack and defense. Gain an additional 4% attack and defense if it's a super attack. Gain an additional 3% attack and defense if all allies are extreme class. So really the way this is built is they want you to have a full extreme class rotation. You would be getting what, 12? So if it's a full extreme class rotation and you're supering, you're getting basically 12% attack and defense per super. And then you're getting 8% per normal. And then, so then building up to 100 seems like a lot, but when you're attacking 4 to 5 times every turn, like you're going to build this up pretty quick, right? And then gain defense 40% when collecting key spheres as the first or third attacker in a turn. So just giving you that defense, and because it's worded when collecting key spheres, you'd get it before you attack, right? And then guaranteed crits when key is 20 or more. Which is wild, because, you know, if you think of STR Cooler, he just gets guaranteed crits against, what is it, pure hybrid Saiyans. This guy would just have crits if your key is 20 or more, which is kind of crazy, right? The one thing that could be an issue for this build, well, no, I guess there is plenty of key in the passive, right? I was going to say key could be an issue, but you're getting key 3 here, and you're getting key 3 from your own passive, actually key 5 from your own passive. So right there is fine. And then, yeah, and then another, yeah, you're getting all that key there, right? But the thing is after transforming, there's no key here. So that's the part where, like, this guy transformed could really struggle for key. So that's the one thing, maybe give him, like, an extra 1 key per orb or something. That would maybe help there, but who knows? This is still, like, a really ridiculous cooler build here, right? And then the active skill, we talked about the transformation, and then I'm assuming this is after transforming. You would get this supernova attack. Can be activated after launching 7 attacks or 3 supers. Massively raises attack, perform guaranteed crits for the turn. Ultimate damage, very good. And then pretty typical link set here. And then some, I think the categories are pretty accurate. So there you go, guys. There's a really fun offensive build for Cooler. I mean, in general, I like this idea of the STR Cooler skeleton, where you're a support unit and then you transform and become like an offensive juggernaut. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we'll
see you guys in the next video.